everyone. Good morning, everyone. As you see, I'm just here trying to harvest a meal. I'm also going to be harvesting some of these young edible leaf as well. So what I'm actually doing right now, I'm actually harvesting a few potatoes. I already harvest out this whole bed already. I already harvest out majority of my potato, but today I'm harvesting potato and many more. So I'm actually harvesting, I'm actually walking in the garden. So let's do this, guys. Let's see, man. Let's see what's under the ground. Let's see what's under the ground for us today. Okay. Yeah. So basically, we're just gonna harvest a few of these potato right here. All up here was potato. I had a beautiful harvest from up here. So as you see, I have some okra seedlings ready to transplant in this area where I already harvest all the potato. So I'm planting okra in this area, which on this row as well, I'm gonna be planting okra. So I'm not gonna let these potatoes hold up time because we only have a certain growing season, certain growing time, a length of time, and we're trying to grow as much as we can. So I'm not gonna allow this potato to hinder me from planting out these okra seedlings here, and then I have other type of food I want to plant. I want to plant some squash. I want to plant some squash. Some of them take 45 days. So I want to plant some of these squash because why? You could get, more than one crop from them. So let's just see, guys. Just see what's going on here, man. It's either we get harvest or we don't. But we want to see what's under the ground. Sometimes, all right. Sometimes up here, I had a beautiful harvest up here. Hey, all thing with Cathy, what's up? How you doing, sis? Thank you for being here. Hey, Denise Harris, how you doing? Thank you guys for being here. Yes, guys, so I don't know what's under the ground, but I'm looking to see what's under here. Is either we, okay, all right. Is either we get potato or we don't get potato. And you see, guys, a lot of worms underneath there, which is earthworms. Also, sometimes you're trying to harvest and you're really not trying to get rid of these earthworms. Okay, another nice sized potato here. All right, this was the mother potato. This was the one I planted. But this is great. Okay. These I'm going to use these for seeds. Okay. It ain't much we harvesting, but we just want to see what we have under the ground. All right. You see them earthworms, guys? I try not to damage my earthworms them because the earthworms is so important in the ground. All right. Okay. At least we're getting a meal here. So I'm stressing. And I already have some over there. So I'm basically just trying to get fresh. All right. All right. I'm sure there's more potato underneath the ground there. I'm sure. But it's so hard for me to do it with one hand, I'm just trying. All right, so we have more potato right here. All these small ones, you just leave them in the ground and they're gonna come back. All these small, yes, exactly. All right, that is all right. So let's go over here, and I want you guys to bear with me because I'm gonna be showing you in a minute. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna show you in a minute some leaf I will be harvesting as well. So as you see, we have more potato. Oh wow, okay. All right. We have more potato here. Like I said, I'm sure. Okay, see, look at next one. Look at next one. As you see, I'm sure if I dig deeper, I'm gonna get more. I'm sure of that. But like I said, it's so hard to do it with one hand, so I'm just gonna shake it up a little later. But right now, I'm just gonna show you guys that I did get a harvest from these potatoes. All right, see the earthworms? Okay, nice size. Okay, so all these small ones, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually be using for seeds. That's what we're gonna be actually doing, use them for seeds. So yes guys, I'm sure if I dig deeper, I'm gonna find more potato, but I cannot do that right now because I'm doing one hand. But as you can see guys, we did get some potato, fresh potato from our garden. Let's see what's here. Okay, you see, I didn't even go to the bottom. So, like, I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna leave it right here. You see, look, I now dig, I get a next one. This is exactly what I'm seeing. If I'm sure, if I dig deeper, I'm gonna get more. But okay, so let me show you what we get from our little harvest, just in this area right here. Just a few holes of potato. This is what we get. Right here. We have a nice little heap of potato. I'm going to show you some more that I now harvest over there. Nice harvest. So over here, we also harvest from these two rows. These rows right here, we also was able to harvest a nice heap of potato. So just like that guys, this is what I'm saying. When you put the food in the ground, you can always come back and harvest once you take care of this. Now, I'm going to show you guys something else. So as you see, I already start planting. This is a okra seedlings I already plant. So this whole row go over here, I'm going to plant okra, and I'm also going to plant some string beans. So the string beans going to be running up on the okra plant. I'm trying to create a tree-sister system right in this area here. Now, let me show you what I'm going to do now to help create this meal. I'm going to make callaloo. Now, I'm going to show you what we use for callaloo. But you got to excuse my hands because, like you know, I'm in the dirt and my hands going to be very muddy. But let me show you now what we're going to use for callaloo. Let me show you what we're going to use for callaloo. Now, You see this? This is the right thing for callaloo. So these young leaf, what we're gonna do, we're gonna peel off the skin from the stem. On the stem, there's a skin. So we're gonna peel off the skin from the stem, cut it up like collard greens, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook them. You could cook them in soup, you can cook them in many different ways, but today, I'm gonna actually be cooking them in a soup, a ital soup. So it's gonna be potato and callaloo. That's all, guys. No salt, no butter, just a ital soup today. All right. So all these young baby limbs, leaf, I'm gonna pick all of them. Okay, all of the young one. You don't want. Listen, me. The honest truth is, because these plants is young, you can basically pick any leaf you want. All right, because the plant is young. You don't want to harvest when the plant grow, it keep producing leaf. So you have the opportunity to harvest leaf basically at least every week, right? So you want to make sure that when the plant get bigger, like 4 months around them times, you don't want to be harvesting the older leaf. You want to harvest the young leaf, all right? And this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be harvesting only the young leaf today. And like I now mentioned to you, you can use these leaves. You got to cook them for at least 45 minutes. We call them callaloo. Other people, there's a different plant that they call callaloo. But this is what we call callaloo, and we cook them up beautiful. Maybe I should put the recipe in the comments, in the description. All right, so all these little young leaf, you see I'm breaking. Even this one. All these little young leaf, you see, this is food right here. So I'm actually getting a nice, healthy dinner from my garden. You see, only the young leaf I'm picking. These young leaf, you see them? These young leaf, you're picking them, all of them. And you're gonna need a good bit. You're gonna need a good bit to make that soup. So I will have to walk through my whole garden to make sure I have enough. Because when you boil them, they kind of break up in pieces. Okay, just like the collard greens. So you want a good, you know when you boil on the collard greens, how it does get the big portion, the stone very small, is basically the same thing I have going on here. So you need to cook a certain amount. You're gonna want to get a good bit. And don't forget, you could also use the stock. You could also use the stock. So all I'm picking today is just a young baby leaf. And guess what? These same plants, you see how I pull out this? This is a young, fresh, nice baby leaf right here. You see, nice and fresh. Okay. All right. This one as well. Guys, this is why I love to grow edibles. Right? Why I love to grow edibles? Because these crops produce leaf to feed you all through the spring, all through the summer. And then in the fall, these same leaf produce a crop under the ground. So you eat in the leaf all year round, all through the spring, all through the summer, all through the fall, And then at the fall, I'm going to put them right here on this log. Then all through the fall, when the fall come, like in October, because it'll take at least 6 months, 6 to 8 months before harvest. So like in October, you come and you harvest the root of the crop, because there is a tropical plant, their leaf cannot withstand the cold weather. So what's going to happen in the fall, the leaf going to dry down, and then you go and you harvest the root, just like how you see I was harvesting the potato earlier. It's the same way you come and you harvest the root of this crop. So feeding yourself and at the same time, these are very rich. I remember in the old days, they used to boil these for women with kids, with children. Like for instance, it helped, according to studies, it helped build your blood, and it helped build the milk, that the woman can reduce a lot of milk for their baby. So this is really a healthy plant. It's an Edo. You can do your own research on the Edo, and it's a plant you should be growing because it's very easy to grow. It's very easy, it takes care of itself. So I think it's a beautiful plant we all should have in our garden. So I'm going down to the bottom now, where we have even more Edos growing. So let's go down here. You see I already harvest my potato. My corn and them is doing pretty well. Corn and them is doing really well. All right, so let's go down here, and we're gonna be harvesting more Edo leaf. You also could harvest, there's another one named, there's Edo, and there's Dashin, and there's Tanya. So you can harvest both of them. Both of them is the same plant. Is the same plant. Look like this, they all look the same, but they're not the same. But you can eat from all of their leaf. So why I'm picking so much is because I know I need a certain amount that I can create a meal. And like I said, guys, this meal, you see, look at it, guys. Let me let you see. You see this? This is the young baby leaf from the plant. You see? So this is the one you want, the young one that, this is the baby root. And like I now mentioned, do some research on this plant and you will see what I'm seeing for your own self. I've been dealing with this plant for years, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. I see my grandparents use them. I also see my parents use them. I also see family members use them, uncle, auntie use them. So I'm telling you right now, do your research. It's E-D-D-O-E, Edo. Do your research and learn about this plant. I give away a few of them. I'm hoping that they're growing them and they're getting their benefits as well, because like I said, it holds a lot of benefit. All right, so if you notice, I have a whole lot of them. Look at them. You see? I have a whole lot that I'm growing. I even have to the extent over there. So look the one that I'm picking. I'm actually picking the Edo. Look at it. This one. Once you see the leaf is full like this, good to go. Okay? Like this one, you see this one here? This is good to go. This one, good to go. This, you can use this one. Why you can use it? Because the plant is still young. But I'm just dealing with the young one right at this moment because I have enough to cook the meal. So you cook in the stem, and in a minute I'm going to show you how you peel the edo, the stalk, because there's something on the stalk that you have to peel off. You definitely have to peel it off. Okay? All right, I think I'm gonna hold on there now. I think I have enough. So I'm gonna hold on right there now because I don't want to take the video for too long. Okay, but these crops, guys, these crops they grow in a tropical, right? They grow in a tropical, but what we do, we try to create, okay, let me tell you about the edo plant. The edo plant, you can put them in the ground all in spring and you have enough time for a harvest. If you're down in the south, you can put them in the ground in November, December, and it wouldn't bother them at all. They're gonna just come right back up in the spring. Because all these edos, you see in all of them planting like November, and they come back. If you're up in the north, it might be a little more challenging because sometimes the soil get freeze. And because the soil get freeze, it might end up damage the edo. But there is the city's tropical plant, but you can grow them in cold climate. Why? Because it has enough time from the spring to the fall that you can harvest them. So what we're trying to do, okay, this is cassava we have growing here, right? What's going on here? Right, this is cassava we have growing here, right? This is also a tropical plant. This plant, you actually gonna start them indoors. This is cassava. Cassava, you gotta plant them indoors. Why you gotta plant them indoors? Because cassava take a long time to produce, and then you have to start them indoors because they do not start from seed, they start from their stalk. So you gotta cut the stalk and you gotta root them from the stalk. So you got to do it indoors. So when you do it indoors, you stand a chance of able to get a harvest. No, this is my fourth year growing this. So this is just a trial. This is basically a trial growing cassava. All right? This is basically a tropical area I have going on right here. No, this is more edos. Okay, let me see if I can get some leaf out of this edos again. Okay, right. These, okay. These are more edos I have here. And if you notice, I'm also growing yam. This is yam I'm growing in this area as well. So this is a tropical situation going on here. We have edos, we have yam, and we also have cassava. I did grow yam before, so I kind of have an understanding of what's going on with the yam. Right. I kind of have an understanding of what's going on with the yam, but I'm still learning about the cassava. After this crop, I'm going to have a more understanding of how to deal with the cassava. But right now, as we see the yam, this is another yam root growing here. We see the yam actually growing and looking beautiful. And we have two yam growing. We're trying to run them up on the stake right there. In this area here again, we have another yam popping up right here, which you see it coming up here. This is another yam. So today is about the tropical, and we also looking for food at the same time. Like I now mentioned to you, these plants will produce these leaves all through the spring, all through the summer. So you're going to be getting food from these plants all the way down to the fall. Now we still, this over here again, as you see, I now clean up this area here. All this is meadows growing on over here as well. But as you know, so I do think we have enough for a meal. Okay? So all this is meadows. These are big roots of meadows will be growing up here. Big roots. Hey guys, how you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Plant a Garden TV. Appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to hit that like button and hit that share button if I truly appreciate it. Just trying to motivate people about growing their own food and the benefit at the same time. Alright, so as you see going on over here, we have squash and we also have corn growing up in this area here. We have, there listen, there's a lot going on. But my favorite is growing food that could last. Growing food that can store for themselves. This is my favorite because in case all these are areas that ginger now pushing out. You see the ginger now pushing out? Yes. All these, I just want to make sure that I can have food, whether there's electricity or where there's no electricity. I want to make sure that I have food. So I grow food that can store themselves, like the Edos, the Dashing, the Tanya. You see guys, now harvest my nice patch of Edos, potato, which I'm going to be harvesting. Now I'm going to be planting okras. Go right straight over this bed over here. Okay, these are my border just growing. I'm just allowing these border to grow and continue growing. I'm not going to harvest these until maybe 2-3 years from now. So I'm going to allow them to grow and spread and develop. Alright, so now as you see, this is another patch of meadows. I have a pumpkin. This is a pumpkin that I'm going to be leaving to run between these meadows. Run, go over here. Let me show you over here as well. You see, everywhere is meadows. So as you see, this is a nice patch of tomato I have going on here. Nice patch of tomato, looking pretty healthy. And what we notice, we see blossoms start coming. So this is what's going on. This is what's going on. But if you notice this garden, the most thing you're gonna be seeing is root crop. And root crop don't need a refrigerator to store them. Root crop don't worry about electricity. So now you could grow your whole crop and you could survive without electricity or a refrigerator. Why? Because these plants can survive without that. All you got to do, you make sure you put them in an area where they all can have a nice temperature and they will just remain for themselves. Like pumpkin, that's another plant you want to grow because these things don't need a refrigerator to store them. Potato, they don't need a refrigerator to store them. All right? So that's my nice bungle. I have another bungle down there. So let me see if I can give you an idea of how you peel these things. All right, this is the skin. Excuse my hand, guys, because I was digging potato. This is the body of the edo, the stalk, right? I gotta show you guys this because you have to do this. Now you gotta peel this off. You see what I'm doing there? You have to peel this off, and after you peel it off, then you could cut it up. You see? You see what I'm showing you here? This, you have to peel this off of the plant, of the leaf. Then you can cut it up because this, you're not gonna wanna eat this, okay? So you get that off and then you chop it up in pieces, and then just like that you have your meal. These are the young leaf. So you cut up the leaf and you boil them for at least 45 minutes. You could boil them in soup. You could boil them just like if you boil in collard greens. You could cook them up with different things. Thank you, Crooked Pete. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Once you have the space, guys, once you have the space, then just throw the seeds then. But don't just throw them, you got to come and take care of them. Now, if you notice here, I have a squash. This is a squash just growing here, but as you see, I still come. I did not just throw the seed. I still come and I clean around it. All right? If you notice, it's already advanced squash. It's already advanced squash. But what I do, if you notice what I'm doing, I'm still coming and I'm still cleaning around it and give it space to grow. You cannot just plant them and leave them. That's not a good idea. You have to take care of them. Right here, I remember it have a banana growing right side it. Look at here. I planted this banana right here last year, and I thought it died. But this is the banana coming up right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wobble the squash around the banana and just let it be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna just tell you to go out there and just throw the seed in the ground. I'm not gonna do that because there's no guarantee you're gonna get success. You still gotta take care of the plant. You still gotta make sure that you soften the root. You still gotta make sure you clean the weeds from around the plant. So look again, we have edos growing up right here. Also, we have an avocado that comes back from last year, and we have squash growing right here. I'm going to show you something I'm doing as well. Okay, so these are okras. These are okra seedlings coming up here, which I'm going to be transplanting in different areas in the garden. Like this here, this whole row go over here is going to be just edos, no okra. And this whole row gonna be okra, just okra growing up in these areas. Because okra is very rich as well. Now, if you notice here, I have a pumpkin growing in this area here. But I don't want to take up the pumpkin. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lead the pumpkin, this is it right here. I'm gonna lead it out the garden, which now it put me that I gotta remove this okra here. I gotta remove this okra plant here. Well, the corn gonna remove pretty soon. But now I'm gonna let this okra. Hey dear, everyday life, how you doing? What's going on? Yes, so now I'm gonna run this okra over this side. Just let it go over there. That pumpkin root you see there. All right, because